Cup Studio Live. 2021 GSL SuperTournament Season 1.
Africa TV, go freak yourself. We're back. Guys, GSL SuperTournament continues on, and now we got a PvP.
Yeah, Zoun versus PartinG. Who is favored here? I would definitely have to go with PartinG. I don't think he played like super well yesterday, but PvP, it's very build order based, cheesy, micro based. Those are all things that I think of when I think of PartinG.
Now, we were apparently saying this guy's name wrong for a while. We thought it was Zoun. It's actually Zoun, I think, is the correct way to say it.
Approximately.
Correctly said is Hydra, I think. I'm not sure. Now, this is one of our newer players here, but he's going up against the great PartinG.
Yeah.
The king of chaos.
That is very true.
It's like if the Joker, the Mad Hatter, and the Riddler all had a baby. An agent of chaos.
Yeah, pretty much. He's a very different player. He's got a little bit of everything in him. He's got a former world champion. Definitely think he's favored here, Tasteless.
I think he's favored.
I think he's going to bring some real dirt into this series.
Look, listen to this music. This is like the music that plays in an options scene. You pause the game and you're like, let's go to the options. Let's change this around.
Go fix this a little bit.
Yeah, let's fix. I don't think. Yeah. But what difficulty? Do I want to go on hard or do I want to enjoy the story on normal?
Yeah, but it's like on a PSP. It's the
no, it's not on a computer game. It's like you pause it, you know. Now here's the thing: PartinG parted his hair down the middle. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's crazy, Tasteless. I can't believe you noticed that.
Oh boy. Guys, we've got a PvP. We're going to start this off on Death Aura. The winner will be the third player to get to the Final Four of the GSL SuperTournament.
Game start. Alpha X, Zoun. PartinG.
Well, the low ground gate. See if he wants to just go for the one gate expand type of build. I don't think so because he doesn't have the high ground, but we'll see. They have not played before.
Yeah, man. Zoun is the new kid on the block.
Yeah, he is.
PvP has historically been an extremely volatile matchup. There are, one of the things about Protoss, it's just a feature of the race, is that it has a lot of different branches you can tech into, right? And the techs are quite dramatic early on. I mean, basically, once you get a cybernetics core up, now you can really pick very different games, right? And so PvP is very explosive. Now, I think macro game PvPs are great, but we got to see if we're going to get to that. Well, before we can really talk about it.
Yeah, this could turn into Zoun going for something very, very aggressive because it is a Nexus after Gateway. We saw PartinG blocking any offensive gas from occurring on his second gas there. Yeah, and look, he is going to go ahead and proxy something, but the thing is, when you bring a build like what PartinG has brought here, you know all the different things people are trying to do to kill it. Like, is it an Oracle? Is it a Prism? Is it an Immortal? Is it Void Rays? Like, those are some of the things that come to your mind. Like, okay, and you have to have a plan to stop all of those. So I feel like, in my opinion, if you play against this, if you don't have something that you actually have practiced against it,
yeah,
I think it is the worst idea in the world to try to kill it off the fly. Because you know that they are prepared. If this is just Oracle, it's like, you think he doesn't have anti-Oracle timings built into this?
He's never seen this tech before.
Yeah. Whereas if you have practiced it, though, and you're like, yeah, no, I know what their counters generally are, and I know how to counter that. If you've done that, great. If not, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Okay. Stargate almost done. Looks like these two Adepts are going to catch this probe. We should also watch throughout this series, just in case two Adepts ever get in the main. That's the easiest way for a StarCraft 2 game to just end.
Yeah.
Is two Adepts get inside the main of another player, and they just start to lose probes. Things grind to a halt pretty quickly. So we've got the Oracle being chrono boosted out. PartinG this game is really going for, frankly, a much more conservative play. He wants to go right into mid-game. Zoun has different plans, however.
I think he has a shield battery finishing up in his main, yeah. So that's his anti-Oracle to start. Throws a wall down. Now let's see this. Obviously the Oracle can chew through that energy eventually. Oh, he goes to the natural. That makes sense too, doesn't it? Yeah, with the Stalker up there, see, it's not doing particularly well. It's not a failure as of yet. But only 2 kills.
Uh-oh. No, it's not that time yet. Or it's actually past that time, I should say. This is not really enough damage.
No.
I mean, granted, Zoun has taken his natural, but he's playing from behind.
Yeah,
and
he's actually probe-wise, though, he's not very far behind, only a couple.
The probe-wise, he's fine, but, you know, PartinG has Immortals.
Yes.
And that's really what the factor is in mid-game. The Immortal is, I mean, in all matchups, it's a great unit, but in PvP, what's funny about the Immortal, and I don't think this was really anticipated when the game was being designed, because really the Immortal, I think when they made the Immortal, they're like, how do you kill a bunch of siege tanks? What is a unit? What's like a buster unit that comes in there and breaks it down? But the Immortal just murders Stalkers.
Yeah.
The Immortal is like the anti-Stalker.
It really is.
And so, in a matchup where, you know, Stalkers are, I mean, Adepts are used in PvP, but Stalkers are sort of the core unit. Like in StarCraft 1, like, you can get Zealots in PvP, but really the Dragoon is the core unit. Same thing here. The Immortal is what counters that core unit.
Yeah, and the fact that they're both going Blink doesn't really leave anything for Zoun. Like, he's going to have Blink Stalkers against Blink Stalkers, but then there's also Immortals out for his opponent. And it's like, oh, that's bad news bears right there. PartinG is even taking a 3rd Nexus, which, yeah, that honestly works just fine, because there's, like, no real way for him to die or anything.
Right.
Getting a Forge as well. Wow. That's him really making a statement about how sure he is that he can't die.
Nothing screams, I want this game to go on for a long time, and a PvP more than a Forge.
Yeah.
Now, we have Blink on the way here on both sides. And, you know, I said we might go into a macro game. I think we will.
We have to, yeah.
I mean, certainly there's no way for Zoun to try to come in and actually kill PartinG. And I don't think PartinG is incentivized at this point in time to attack. I think he wants to try to propel further ahead. I mean, when you're a Protoss, getting 3 bases is really where you can start to throw your weight around.
Yeah, you can make anything off of 3 bases, basically. Yeah. Zoun's getting his 3rd Nexus. It's not quite halfway done, but going for a Forge, so he's behind on both those, and he has no Immortals, but he is getting charge. I feel like I want to see him go Disruptor if he's going to take this game. Because, like, look, he's coming up and seeing this army. I mean, if you see that army and you have the army that you have and his 3rd is already done, you're not going to beat him with Gateway units. You can't play the Gateway man.
No.
It just won't work. It will not. He'll just have more than you in every single way, and his army's better. So it's like everything is bad about it.
So, you know, because of the way these games started out, Zoun, excuse me, because of this way this game started out, Zoun is basically playing from slightly behind. It's not a big deficit, but it's one where he's having to play the game of catch up. And it might be a quiet game for a little bit here. Ooh, but as I say that, here comes a push.
Yeah, PartinG moving out. He's going to have his +1 done. He doesn't have a Templar Archive, so can't make Archons, but I don't think there's a real Zealot count here for his opponent.
Yeah, that's a good point. Archons are really good at melting the Zealots as they come through.
Yeah, taking that damage and dealing
So
splash.
what angle does he want to attack at here exactly?
The thin part to the left of the natural, or the left of the third base, rather. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Now, let's see if Zoun can actually hold this.
Yeah, he has a single Immortal to Zoun. Gonna be a tough one. Yeah, look at that. No Archons there for him. Can't really bust that.
Yeah, these force fields are really dictating the fight. When they dissipate, he will try to attack in, but really there's just a wider angle here for PartinG. And so here comes that attack, and now another force field locking out, and he actually warps in some more sentries here. This could just end here. I think there's a chance Zoun can maybe take the fight. You can see PartinG Zealots are stuck outside.
Yeah, it's a little bit off, his execution right there, and he didn't actually target down the Nexus. I think he left it purposefully at the beginning of the fight, but now he needs to finish it.
Yeah, well, he's going to take out the last... Oh, no, that's not the last
Yeah,
Immortal.
there's another Immortal to the side.
I didn't notice that until just now. That one's going to go down.
I think he's just going to break him. Wait, no, there's Zealots warping in and then another Immortal coming.
Oh, man, PartinG's going to be kicking himself here for not actually targeting the Nexus.
Yeah, he needs one more volley.
Had he targeted the Nexus, even if he loses this fight like this, he's still ahead. But now it's like...
Yeah.
That's real bad.
That's kind of crazy because literally one more volley and he would have killed it, but I think he left it there to cut down surface area that was attacking him because he's playing against charge lots.
Yeah.
So that's like a normal thing. You see that a lot in PvZ.
Yeah.
When you're doing rushes where you don't finish the hatchery because you want the roaches to have a harder time getting to you. So it ends up being a misplay. And PartinG goes from a very favored position into... Well, what are we looking at here? Like... I guess it's pretty even overall, isn't it? They're both getting fourth bases. Army quality maybe just slightly higher for Zoun.
Okay. I want to go back to that fight for a second. Like, it might look like the most obvious thing to try to get that Nexus, but the math can be a little bit dicey. If you ever overextend and target down a building and then lose all of your army, it's quite bad.
Yeah.
Thing is in that moment he could have recalled. He could have actually killed that if he wasn't sure and recalled out of there.
That's actually what I was thinking when he was fighting, and I was like, if you hit the recall button, your opponent definitely blinks on you and kills like targets, right? Because none of your units can fight for the recall time. All right, well, PartinG coming up again. He has a lot of Zealots this time. There are 3 Archons, though, which make it a little bit tougher. Oh, I think Zoun still has the better army.
Yeah. Now nice pickup.
Oh, yeah, that was a great juggle.
Only losing shields on that. That is about as good as it can go. It snipes the Archon.
That's a big pick-off, isn't it?
Yeah, that's huge, man. Okay, pops in again.
Kind of an aggro blink right there. Definitely does not pay off. Continue to make some Archons up here on the battlefield. Definitely wants to attack more. It's just the Immortals are so good on defense here.
I never noticed how kind of boxy this map is, actually. It's a lot of narrow hallways to try to push through. You really... It's hard to advance. Like, you can see PartinG could basically set up with a wide angle, and it's pretty hard to actually get over there.
What's he targeting here? Actually, the Zealot's getting in front. This is looking really bad right now for PartinG, but
no, I think
the 3 shield batteries.
Yeah, I think he's actually okay. I think he overestimated. Zoun did. I think he overestimated his ability to push through. Batteries really do change a fight in a way where, like,
the battery Immortals is all that really is saving him here.
Yeah.
Because there was like an almost overwhelming amount of Zealots that charged forward.
Right.
But honestly, like you said, it is a little bit boxy. They didn't even get full surface area.
Yeah, they weren't able to be optimized there.
He's getting ahead on workers, and he's up 20 army supplies. So PartinG does need to stay back with his army.
Yeah. And this is actually tricky to read, by the way, too. I mean, PartinG might not be totally clear on where his opponent's actually at. He is catching up, by the way.
Yeah, he's actually picking off some key units like those Archons that are very important.
Yeah, if Zoun was to stay out there and like try to poke in and lose a few more Archons, I think PartinG's counterattack works. But PartinG's gonna. Oh, I'm sorry, he's not gonna attack across. I thought he was for a second.
Oh, he actually took a 5th base here.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But he's also going into disruptors. Zoun is. So the disruptors can make or break the army. Like, you miss your shots, you're in trouble. Charge lots in general can be pretty strong against them, but honestly, look at this army. Disruptors are going to be very helpful, especially if he sits back in a defensive formation for a little bit. Like, PartinG's army is meant for engagements, right? It's so charge lot heavy. But over time, you can whittle something like that down. And he's actually coming out on the map with it.
Okay, he sees where the army is. PartinG actually wants to fight the army of Zoun.
Yeah.
You got to be really careful with disruptors. A disruptor shot on a clumped up Protoss army hurts everything so much.
Yeah, you can kill just a huge amount of units.
Yeah. I think a fight might be forced here. Blinking through. That disruptor shot seemed pretty damn good, but...
Yeah. And his Archon's dealing huge amounts of damage to these Zealots, but there's 4 Immortals left over behind, so he still has to be careful.
He might need a recall here. Stalker's blinking back. That might have been a bit of a mistake the way he handled that.
He's about to have another disruptor shot, though. Another 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, here it
and
comes.
the Immortals have a hard time dodging. It does connect on only 1. He goes for the Zealots there. Oh, that's a funny moment. I thought you should go for the Immortal, but I guess that actually does make a little bit more sense. I think PartinG...
Yeah, he loses all of his valuable units here.
And I think now an attack in the upper right is in order. Right? I mean, he's just going to go up there.
He can definitely kill the 4th.
Yeah.
There are disruptors starting now for PartinG.
Oh. Yeah, you know, there's not really a lot PartinG can do to fight the disruptor. Like, if Zoun controls correctly, he takes it.
Yeah. And it's going to turn into disruptor versus disruptor, and then some other funny things start to happen, like blink DTs come into play. And Zoun's already going for that. He also has that Stalker army. The Zealots, like, can be helpful against disruptors, because it can be really hard for them to actually aim right next to their own units.
Okay, another shot! Nicely done. I think that Zoun's about to take this game.
Yeah. Definitely looks like it. Some great micro coming out of him.
You know, Zoun is one of our new players here in the GSL, and he is sticking it to a former world champion in Game 1. Opened up with a risky build, and PartinG got ahead, but I think it's clear, you know, from the play that Zoun just, he knows PvP very well and navigated a beautiful late game.
Yeah, he was actually, he was behind for a bit. Like, PartinG had a better army and everything. And
right.
Some good teching up into disruptors, because disruptors, like, if you're behind in ground army versus ground army, that's a great way that you can sometimes maneuver yourself into a victory, and those disruptors really did end up paying off. They gained huge amounts of value there at the end. And when PartinG lost the 4 Immortals, those were his trump card basically for the whole game, because Zoun got his 2nd Nexus up and was within 2 probes. So the economies were pretty solid next to each other. Their upgrades were pretty solid next to each other. It was just about the Immortal count for PartinG. And so once that goes away, what do you have?
Kill that Nexus, man. Kill the Nexus and recall. You can see PartinG beating himself up a little bit. At least it looks like it.
Still very doable for him.
Yeah, I know he can win this series for sure. But again, new kid on the block, new nerd on the block. Pillars of Gold, guys. It's loaded up. Let's go into Game 2 in this best of 5.
Game start. Alpha X, Zoun.
No, Zoun.
Come on now. Learn.
PartinG.
Looks like PartinG, once again, wants to go for the quick expansion. Zoun as well.
PvPs are oftentimes not as long as that last game. You know, there's a lot of pretty nasty tricks you can try to do early on. It's also fun to see how each of the builds is going to interact, because when you have PvP is the matchup where there's the most types of builds to start things off, I would say. And so you can end up with the most different types of early game. Unlike, say, a TVZ where the Reaper comes out and then shoots at stuff and nothing happens. And then, you know.
For sure. By the way.
Yes.
So we have the Nexus coming down for parting. So it's like the same build as the previous game.
Mm-hmm.
But Joan is actually, he made the forward gateway, but is going double gas. So he's teching up with that same type of wall.
Yep.
So he might do something like a 1 gateway Stargate Nexus type of build.
Sure. We've seen Robo pushes as well.
Oh. He actually goes double gas Nexus.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
That's
not what I expected.
Yeah. So I guess it's probably going to be a quieter early game.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you're both going for like a really quick 1-gate Nexus before core, what do you think is the optimal follow-up for that? I think it's Stargate. Because there's no way that anyone's going to deal damage. You think it's Robo?
Yeah, I think you just start massing Immortals.
I think you could go Phoenix or you could go Oracle, and I think both are good.
Let's keep upping this theoretical fight. I'm like, but then how do you stop my 12 carriers?
Well, Tasteless, I opened Stargate, so I have 14 carriers.
Yeah, but let's see. I mean, we're going to get an idea of what they want. That's a forward gate, so I guess PartinG says, okay, you're trying to play catch-up.
He's going 4-gate.
Yeah, 4-gate.
Interesting. Okay, Jones sees 3 of them. He's going for a Robo, so it looks like he is the one that's playing for a slightly longer game here. If he can stabilize and have that Robotech up, this 4-gate is going to bite PartinG in the butt.
Now, the first skirmish with these units is going to be the most important one. When you're 4-gate rushing like this, and even the forward gate, the gateway at the bottom there, is to accelerate the rate at which things are going to be coming out here. This can get pretty nasty pretty quick. The only advantage that Jown's going to have is the shield batteries there.
Yeah. And I guess he has the ramp, so the sentries he's making might be able to do something. And of course he can have an overcharge like one time during this battle.
Yeah, that's right. That's true as well.
He's going to have an Immortal relatively soon. Yeah, the overcharge should keep him alive until the Immortal, and then he can actually punish with the sentries.
Yeah, the Immortal is going to be the moment the rush will probably end. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a good move.
What about
I like
some Ghosty Boys coming to your base?
Yeah, no, the Ghosty Boys, actually, I hadn't even thought of, but that was a great warp-in. Those can deal a lot of damage.
Oh! Again, 2 Adepts can one-shot a probe. So this is going to be some real economic damage.
Ooh, good pull away. Good pull away on those probes. This could have done a lot more.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like already up to 8 kills here, but he's actually done a great job.
Yeah. That should have been like 8 kills.
Ghosty Boys, the sequel.
Ooh,
oh, yeah, the
only
original
one
Ghost Boys was the best. Sorry. Uh-oh. Where there's a will, there's a way. And again, you can't really lose that many probes early on in PvP.
Yeah, it is some significant damage. He's down 6 probes right now. Don't forget, though, he does have a little bit more tech. He's got some of his own Adepts to help fight Adepts with. He has an Immortal.
Yeah, the building
If he can go directly into Prism from here, if he can squeeze out a Prism, I think he might be able to get some good counter damage done. He's down 5 probes. Yeah, there's the Prism. There's the Prism. So right with the Prism, Immortal drops, don't forget, if no one has Blink or a Stargate, which is this game, Immortal drops are like the strongest thing in early game PvP.
Yeah, Immortal drops are almost impossible to punish. Yeah. Like somebody with good control, it's like, it's actually ridiculous. Yeah. Like,
it's pretty absurd what they can do. You can go pylons,
I see that, I'm like,
tech,
I got
stalkers.
Blizzard on my speed dial. I give them a call every time. I'm like, you guys.
They're like, Tasteless, it's PvP. You can't complain in balance.
Now, in this game, Zoun is, there's been a role reversal from the first game. He's the defender.
He actually loaded up 4 Adepts instead.
Well, I mean, if there's too much just outside of Zoun's entrance, then I guess why not, you know, you could fight fire with fire, man. Go ahead and kill all his probes.
No, there's some great moves you can do, right? Like you drop him off outside, shade in, bring the prism up to pick him up out of the natural. But look at this. He's catching it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Ermagerd.
That's a huge catch by PartinG.
Yeah, PartinG looking very strong now.
Now, if there was an Immortal in that, there'd be 4 dead Stalkers right now.
The Immortal will come out, kill the Stalkers, go back home, kill everything outside of the base.
Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. I think that was a great idea by Zoun, but
yeah,
well, I would have preferred it with the Immortal, but whatever. Whatevs.
Well, I think he wanted to make sure his front couldn't get attacked.
Yeah, he was maybe afraid it would be a continued.
I think the idea is that he kills probes in the main or in the natural, and then later on more Immortals come out and close the game.
Sure. Just some scouting going on, both sides getting blink.
Okay. Not too significant, but, you know, that's what's one gate less. PartinG will have to remake. Zoun is playing a much safer game here. Is he going to actually push across the map? He's got Immortals. He's got his own Warp Prism. He's remade the one that was destroyed.
Both sides getting Nexuses. Forge is already up for Zoun.
It looks like this attack is designed to hit right as Blink finishes. Oh, maybe not. I guess he's just looking to see if there's anything he can clear here.
A bit of roaming.
Yeah, a bit of roaming.
See if you can pick off a unit or whatever. Maybe you force him to stop making probes and, you know, make some additional units that aren't going to be as useful or something. I'm not sure. Put a pylon up there.
Yeah, we're going into another macro game.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like anyone can really kill each other. PartinG, like, just barely ahead on workers. Going to be a little bit behind on upgrades, though. Definitely could be either person's game.
Uh-oh.
Ooh!
This is sick.
Uh-oh.
Keep in mind, there's no Colossus, there's no Archon, there's no way to step on top of that force field, and this means it's going to be a recall in the main.
Yeah, that is a lot of Stalkers he's having to deal with right now. All right, brings up more Stalkers here as well. Let's see if what he can pick off. Picks off the Warp Prism. I feel like he's got to kill that Immortal. Oh, almost gets it, but PartinG picks it up and brings it behind. A beautiful juggle. His Immortals, though, dancing a little bit behind. A blink forward on the Immortals here of Zoun. He loses one, pulls the other back. Probe's coming up to fight now, too.
Yeah, the Stalkers, they have a better arc here for Zoun. It's one Immortal versus one Immortal here. Can he get the pickup on this last one in the Warp Prism? He does not.
Ooh.
He blinks out. The Warp Prism escapes.
That was a good
Zoun
punish.
survives.
Yeah, now PartinG is up in workers after all that, but pretty far down in army supply.
That's right.
He lost all of the Immortals that he brought into the battle. Zoun kept one alive.
And now we are going to see Zoun move out back on the map. Nobody's taking a fourth here. It seems like they traded enough of the important tech that I don't think anybody's clearly ahead, but let's see how this attack across the map goes.
Yeah, maybe slightly Zoun, I think, but it's still reasonably close. So he does have an Immortal out now. They're fighting near his shield batteries as well, so it's kind of, you know, he added 3 shield batteries. He knew that he lost a lot of his army there, so wanted to be safe. Oh, careful, careful.
Oh, he goes right on top of the Immortal. It is picked up by the Warp Prism and then shot down.
Look at that overcharge. Oh, my God. Insta-fills the shields.
Whoa.
Yeah, the fact that he got that out and then kept it alive with the overcharge, beautifully done.
Yeah.
PartinG with the clutch heals.
Well, he's known for having great control, and we saw that right there. Now, is Zoun going to keep trying to fight? I don't think he should. Maybe he blinks up into the main or something?
I guess he could try that move.
I think the fact that he's threatening to go to the main is making PartinG run back and try to take a fight.
Yeah. I don't think he's actually going to go up. I think this is where you start to bank a little bit of extra energy on your main Nexus, by the way. Because you might need that recall like he needed earlier on.
This Observer is so well positioned.
Yeah, he actually did this last game as well, where he had just this beautifully placed Observer that was watching all army movement.
Okay.
Pulls back. Whew. That was crazy. Okay, so we have a bigger army for PartinG, but it is very stalker heavy.
Now, who's going to take a fourth first here? They're both just powering up. It doesn't seem like it's easy to attack into your opponent on this map in PvP.
PartinG wants to kill. He's not getting any other upgrades.
That's a good point.
So he's not thinking of a Nexus. He's not thinking of +2. He's not thinking of Charge. He's actually down 1 Immortal, but up 9 Stalkers and a Sentry.
Okay, nice Blinket. Takes the Warp Prism out. Force Field's coming down. Zoun looking very strong here. A very nice arc as well.
His Immortals, though, stuck behind those Force Fields. This would really be the moment for him to strike, but the Overcharge giving everything that little boost it needs to hold until the Force Fields are gone, and he pushes PartinG back.
4 Stalkers over here hitting some workers. Zoun is really sticking it to PartinG here.
He is.
The counterplay is going to slowly screw up PartinG's economy, and as long as Zoun can win this fight, he wins this game. Oh, but he loses 1 Immortal.
Yeah, very nice aggressive blink there, but a Force Field goes down, somewhat trapping some of the Stalkers here. They're not getting good shots. Oh my god, Immortal pops out, and he is losing everything here. PartinG in some real trouble.
Oh my god, that might actually be game here. He comes in, he's going to wipe out these Stalkers, and Zoun, I think it's going to be up 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely is. He killed so many of his probes during this as well. I mean, I hate to say it, but PartinG's getting outplayed by the newcomer.
Yep.
He needs to go home and be a family man.
Go home and be a family man. Damn. Zoun.
It's looking good.
Taking PartinG down?
These are tough positions too, where it's pretty close, but one of them is slightly ahead or behind.
Yeah.
And Zoun's been on both sides of that and has been able to outplay PartinG over time and beat him.
Can PartinG come back?
Yeah, it's PvP. It's still possible.
These are very technical late game PvPs, and it does seem like Zoun has just a better understanding of the whole matchup. It seems like PartinG, he's a player who's used to being able to force stuff.
Yeah.
Can't force anything.
Yeah, it might be time to squeeze a DT out.
I like that.
Yeah, just pick up like a win that you don't really deserve.
Yeah.
With an invisible man.
Make a unit that they can't see, and then they can't fight.
Yeah. It'll just kill everything because you can't see it or stop it.
Yeah.
I think a move like that could be very good here.
We're going to go to Light Shade for Game 3. Light Shade, it's like, is that a Light Shade? It's a DT.
Alpha X, Zoun. PartinG.
And once again, we have that forward pylon. Looks like PartinG really came with a set way you wanted to play today. None of this garbage, make 2 gates, make a pylon and check if it's adepts or stalkers, make the battery 9 times and not let the adepts kill your probes. No, he's done with that. That meta's gone for PartinG.
Yeah. Okay, 2 gases taken. Looks like PartinG is going to get a Nexus in just a little bit here. I thought these games are going to be a bit more explosive, but it just seems like Zoun just knows how to navigate the matchup very well.
Yeah.
And considering that this is, so far been a very Protoss-heavy tournament, being a good PvP player might be what you need to do, or might need to have to win.
Yeah, it's a very good point. That's generally how Super Tournament goes. Although, we still do have a couple of Terrans sitting around that might have something to say about that.
Human
Dream
players,
looking good.
huh?
Yeah. Don't forget Bunny plays next, and he actually, after Trap, in my opinion, looked like the best player in the tournament.
Yeah, well, Bunny looked like next level.
Yeah. Which is awesome to see. Imagine if the round of 4 Tasteless is Trap, who's like he's been top level for years now.
Yep.
But then, in addition to that, it's like Dream, Joan, Bunny. What kind of a round of 4
It's
is that?
kind of like a
Is this an online cup?
It's like a Bizarro World tournament where it's like, well, no, these are the best players now.
Yeah, no.
It's like, what about Rogue? I'm like, he didn't qualify. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Well, then TY, right? No, he didn't qualify either.
No, he's only casting this one.
Yeah.
It's like, did I step into the wrong reality? Did I?
Maybe.
Is this the worst episode of Rick and Morty where it's like, well, just the characters are, the players, some of them are better than the other ones, and that's it? And this kind of, new world?
Yeah.
Okay. He spotted the gate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, he has a robo being made, too. So, should be able to defend, right? Like, it's... Oh, he just makes a Nexus. Oh, I like that. I like that. You scout that. You know what you're probably going to do is add batteries. You're going to be, like, chronoing out an Immortal.
Yeah.
But he's just making a Nexus. It's like, okay.
Well, I think it's a really good way to play this.
Yeah.
When you realize it's probably not going to work. Oh, but this is a good scout here.
Yeah.
PartinG goes, hello. Did he have time to cancel the battery? Or did that just finish?
I think the battery finished.
Okay.
Which I think is okay, actually.
I mean, you could still make a depths. Yeah, you could still make a depths and run in, I guess.
You might just need that battery anyways. So. All right, so PartinG's going to have an Immortal popping out. Gets his scout in. Damn, I mean, this probe has done a lot of work this game for PartinG.
Yeah, this probe is the MVP.
For sure it is.
But there's an Immortal out here.
Look at that brave Micro. He went back to shoot the Stalkers knowing the range of the Immortal wasn't going to hit him.
He's going to try again. So one thing the Immortal doesn't have, I guess, and it really almost has everything, is it doesn't have great range.
You're right. We should give it more range.
Yeah.
Thermal Lance should also affect Immortals. Can you imagine that?
Out of nowhere, your Stalkers just explode. Oh my!
It's off screen.
Yeah. It's like the Immortal has an op or something.
Yeah. Jeez.
Okay, coming up here and killing off this pylon. Nobody's been able to succeed with aggression.
Yeah, not as of yet.
Just unpowers it and runs back. Yeah. Now, we're going to have more and more Immortals incremented out here from PartinG. He is going into his Blink Tech, or will be soon. And we see Zoun actually wants to try to come in, maybe with 2 Adepts and a Warp Prism, and see if he can't get some damage somewhere with that. But that's backing up now. He's setting the Warp Prism back home.
Starts his own Twilight, just around the same time as Blink starts for PartinG.
PartinG's got some plans of his own with his Warp Prism. Both playing very conservative. I mean, PartinG not going for like an Immortal drop, for instance. Those have been popular before. Knowing, well, if the Stalkers shoot it down, I'm just going to lose the game.
Ooh. Oh my God. Look at this. He's going to chase it with his Prism and Stalkers.
He might be able to get it. Oh, he's going to go for these Adepts instead.
Get the damage you can get.
Okay, so it's just going to stay up there. Blink going to finish first for PartinG. Now, Blink Stalkers against Stalkers with no Blink. Blink Stalkers are so much better, but I don't know if there's any opening for these guys to really try to fight.
Yeah. It really doesn't look like it. Like, the advantages we see are so slim. It's like, okay, Zoun has, like, 2 more sentries. PartinG is a half Immortal ahead. So
yeah.
We have these little windows where he has 3 against 2 or whatever. But yeah, nothing substantial enough. I think that we're just going to see the Nexuses go down, continued upgrades. Yeah, I mean, they both are making 3rd Nexuses now, so they definitely agree with that.
Okay. Warp Prism. It's a quiet game, Artosis.
It is.
I'm trying to find stuff to say, and I'm like, yeah, they're just kind of staying back and making stuff.
You know, one of the things I guess we can point out is there's a fair amount of sentries that have been added for Zoun, which probably means we're going to see him do an attack onto the third, I think, where you try to utilize force fields to pick off the Nexus. This used to be a very popular thing to do in PvP. And it seems like it might fit here, but PartinG actually made a lot of Stalkers this game. So I could see him being able to counterplay against it. In fact, he's kind of doing something similar, just not with as many sentries. Yeah, this is going to be a funny third base trade. Like,
yeah, this is like almost just like they're just going to push each other.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so
that just, I mean, you just have to give it up.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, like recall on top of that army? I don't think so.
Yeah, and I think the next goal is to try to push even further. Now, I think actually, oh, this might be better here from PartinG. He's already going for the other Nexus.
He was a little bit quicker on it.
Yeah.
But Zoun following his lead.
Yeah, now he's going to recall there, so I think we're going to see a blink away.
Yeah.
And I think PartinG's ahead, I think. I'm not totally sure.
Well, he killed 2 Nexuses, but he might die here because this is not his full army that he recalled, but he did make 3 batteries.
Oh, you're right. There is still some Stalkers back here.
Yeah, so Zoun has to kill him here, or he loses.
Yeah. Now, this is a pretty good angle. He's away from the Immortals here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
They're making waffles tasteless.
Now, can he come back in again? I don't know. I
think Zoun's dead. I think that's about it. The 3 batteries, plus the 3 Immortals and the Prism still alive.
Yeah.
You're not going to break that.
The angle's not very good for Zoun, but I think maybe with good Warp Prism control, he might be able to eke out a little bit more damage. Again, 3 Immortals versus 3 Immortals, but the Stalker count here for PartinG's getting kind of low.
It is. He should have an overcharge coming up on that.
This is where the fight
Nexus,
goes,
right?
The fight goes on long enough. Yeah, he just like recalls the other Stalkers that were back there eventually.
Okay, hold on. He's doing it. He's actually doing it. He kept his Immortals alive longer. He jumped in, killed the Prism. There was no overcharge. Okay, GG's. But that was... He made it reasonably close. It looked like it was way PartinG there. Well, anyways, interesting little base trade going on.
That was a great game. You could see they both they basically had mirrored opportunities.
Yeah.
And the push came. He started to close in, but PartinG, I think, with very good calculus, pulled the right amount of units out to hang on while still doing fatal damage to his opponent over there.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Romanticide for map number 4. Can PartinG keep the comeback going? Look at the tension on him.
Yeah, it's a hard matchup, this one.
Yeah. Zoun very...
he's really coming up.
Zoun?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looked so strong. Not a lot of new players able to compete with the veterans in GSL, but Zoun's one of them.
Yeah, very few. Very few.
Yeah.
You're definitely right about that.
Okay, guys. Romanticide is loading up. This is Game 4 in our PvP Best of 5.
Game starts. Alpha X, Zoun. PartinG.
PartinG going to continue down this path of the low ground gateway nexus.
Zoun setting his probe immediately across the map.
I think he wants to block the nexus. I think he's
you're
figured
right.
out now that like this is the build PartinG's using today.
That's the thing about a best of 5, man. You know, there's room to react, to respond, to innovate, to improve, to adjust.
And PartinG immediately, when he saw the probe come in, like instantaneously took 2 gases.
Look, PartinG's like, hey, get out here, I want to make a Nexus, hey!
Probably
hey,
wants to force
base.
him to make a pylon.
Come on! Not really. He's not going to make a Nexus.
Not at all.
He's like, not. Zoun doesn't know that. He can't know that until he goes in here and sees the 2 gases are taken.
Sees him already mining from the gases.
Yeah,
so
that's all right.
Oops.
Okay, okay. So this is actually going to be a different game here.
Look at
they're
that
both
wall. Look at where the core is.
Yeah.
Just like, it looks...
I just want to see a bunch of stalkers surround that and kill
Yeah.
it and then win the game.
It's
This is
possible.
like if you were an organism, but like your heart is also where your hand is or something.
Yeah.
It's like that's that should go behind the ribs with the other important stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Definitely.
let's keep the organs safe. It's like, well, I evolved specially. My liver's on my face. It's like, okay. That's a very exposed location.
Yeah.
And here I am with my testicles under my feet. I just evolved wrong all over the place. No one can believe I'm alive. I disproved evolution.
Yeah. Yeah, evolution isn't real.
Evolution isn't real, guys.
There you go.
Look at me.
You got it, Tasteless.
I'm the creature footballs. And
Yeah. When we saw Tasteless, we just knew. It couldn't be real.
Tasteless, known as Testy Foot.
This couldn't be the peak of anything.
Yeah. Now, there's a divergent path here. It's Stargate for Joan, and it's Immortals for PartinG. A Robo for PartinG, I guess, is one way to say it.
Yeah.
Now, the place of the Robo is obviously here to try to push. But this is a one-base Protoss here.
I'm interested to see what the Stargate unit will be. Will he go Void Ray? I would really like to see Void Ray right here. If you make the Oracle, like if you go pure Stalker and you think you can go Oracle, you probably have to wait for 2 to send him across, because if you send 1 and he has a battery, you're in trouble. All right, picks off 1 unit right away. It's a Phoenix. Okay. You know what? Phoenix can work too.
Yep.
Like, if you know you're going to have at least equal Stalkers...
You immobilize the Immortal.
Yeah, you can
Take
just
the
lift it
fight.
up, pick off Stalkers, and once you get, like, a good overwhelming amount, then you can kill the Immortal as well. Huh. I still do like Void Rays in this spot, but I guess Void Rays are more turtley, and...
Yeah, Phoenixes have counterplay
Yeah.
as an option.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
Ooh, took some damage there.
Now there's a... Is this going to supply block him? Yeah, well, they'll make a Stalker and a Probe, and then it'll be supply blocked. But can he actually kill him off with this? Now this Observer comes in. He sees
8
what he's up
Stalkers.
against.
Yeah.
He needs another Immortal here.
He will have another one in a second, but...
Phoenixes, I think they're expecting a loop around here with the Warp Prism, but that's actually staying back here.
Yeah, this is what Jones is doing is actually theoretically very, very, very good. It's something that Alpha Star did quite a bit, was like Stalker Phoenix, because in theory, microed correctly, this beats all sorts of stuff you don't think it does.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty precise. You have to be. All right, here he comes.
Again, good pickups here.
Yeah, the pickups are great.
He's just trying to get there right before they can be clicked on. Does this if he shoots down the Warp Prism? Wait.
He's just trying to kill the Immortal before it falls.
So wait, does PartinG win this, or does Joan?
PartinG is going to just win it. The micro wasn't quite good enough for Joan, I think. But the reinforcement Stalkers come down. Well, main army versus main army. PartinG was going to win, but then the reinforcements came.
Minarmy versus Minarmy, man.
Minarmy? It's Maynard subs.
Yeah,
Minarmy.
that's what made me think. Minarmy. Yeah, that's all the Maynard subs.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I like the fact that that's what Joan decided to do. That's like pushing forward, right?
Yeah.
Like when I say Void Ray, I'm like, this is very simple to use, right? You're not going to die. It makes the mid game a little bit more tricky, but also if they overextend, okay. But the fact that he goes into the Phoenixes and tries to pull off something like that, and then the counter micro of PartinG was really cool too, because he kept picking up Immortals, so it makes it a little bit hard maybe to lift them when you want to. Gets a few extra shots. That was cool though. I like that. I'm a fan of these guys. They're giving us a really good PvP series.
Yeah, this has been a very deep PvP series, honestly. Now, Blink is coming along here for PartinG. As he's staying back. They're both getting very late second bases here. It's going to be up at like 7 minutes. Now, Blink is just now starting for Zoun, so, I mean, if you can attack him with your Stalkers and start to take a really good fight and Blink correctly, you're going to be in very good shape.
Yeah. No doubt about that. I think he was actually hunting for, well, maybe a prism, maybe seeing if he can see the observer. You can see it while it sits there. It's a little bit hard, though. And in fact, he may have even chosen a spot. I don't know if it's maybe a little bit harder to see over the geyser or something. I don't think so, but sometimes there are terrains where it can be a bit harder.
Yeah.
But he was definitely looking for that.
Okay, the Stalkers are going to run up. Now, again, Blink is done, so these Stalkers can get in, do damage, and get out.
Yeah, just going to pick off some probes here.
Yeah, it seems like he's being a bit indecisive. Some are hitting the Citadel, others are hitting workers. Ooh. Nice
Finally
kill on
gets
the
it.
obs. PartinG
Okay.
taking a third while keeping the pressure. Some of the ideas here are similar to what we see in PVT. You know, the Stalkers can blink in and blink back out. You got a very good pin. But I guess with the Observer killed, it's not as much of a threat. And there's the possibility that Zoun just has a very strong counterattack, but instead he looks like he's going to be taking a third base of his own.
He is up in units a little bit. But with the third base coming up, it's hard to say if he's going to actually commit across the map. You know, I guess if you have killed off their immortals and you know that their robo has been unpowered, and now they have blink, you can kind of deduce that there aren't any mortals. So maybe you can just go pure blink stalker and put that pressure on.
Stalkers coming back across the map now. And let's see if they can actually get this Nexus over here. Now, again, with force fields up, like you can blink away from this. Got to be very careful. You know, those force fields are buying time, but after that, those sentries are pretty useless, to be honest.
Yeah. But time is really what he needs. It's of the essence.
Did you just make that up? That was such a cool... Time is of the essence. Wow.
Yeah. Doesn't that just sound right?
That just kind of yeah, there's something
Sounds
about
wise?
it. It sounds...
Yeah. No, I did just make that up, yeah.
Yeah, that's... You were a poet.
Yeah. I prefer the term philosopher king.
Oh, I'm sorry. Philosopher King. And I was thinking about terms like that, and I thought we shouldn't be called casters anymore, but we should be called yelly gamers.
Yelly gamers.
Or shouty gamers.
Yeah, I like yelly gamers.
It's like these pros are so good, they have yelly gamers that just talk about the games.
Yeah. We're all just different breeds of gamers.
Yeah. I'm a yelly gamer.
Yeah. We all have our weird ways that we
Yes.
act. The yelly gamers.
Yeah.
The pro gamers think the yelly gamers are dumb.
Yeah, they usually have the yelly gamers on mute when they watch the VODs.
Yeah. But the casual gamers really enjoy the yelly gamers.
That's right. The casual gamers are fans of the yelly gamers.
Yeah.
They keep them around. It's like that. There was this time we were at doing a BlizzCon. It kind of just dawned on me that we're all apes. And I'm like, and here we are. These are these top gamer apes. They're watching. I'm the ape that talks over the other gamer. There's cameraman apes there.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's apes all over the place at their computers watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, we did evolve out of that.
There's some of the
Well,
apes.
actually, you proved that to be untrue earlier. So.
Some of the apes think they know more than the gamers and the casters. Other apes, you know.
Yeah. There's all types.
There's all types.
There's
of
all
apes.
types.
Yeah. Some of the apes think the Earth is flat and can't be convinced otherwise. It's a crazy world we're living in. So again, no matter what these guys try, it always goes to a macro game. Neither player can kill the other one, and then we end up with these powering PvP games.
Yeah, I think it both speaks to their skill, but also the opener that PartinG has been doing each game doesn't lend to a quick finish, right? It's kind of like it's a coverall opener.
PartinG itching to push out again. And he could actually put some pressure on this fourth base. This is one of the more open areas you can attack into, but I think positionally, Joan's still in a better spot. It does seem like in this series, Joan just keeps, PartinG keeps trying to force something to happen, and Joan just sort of shuts it down, with the exception of the last game, which PartinG narrowly won.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear it was over until like the last 5 seconds. But this time, PartinG going for it again. He's down in army supplies, so even though, you know, he's hitting somewhere else, I think this army in the front is still actually a little bit weaker. I don't know that he can cut up the army in such a way that Joan can't take the fight, but let's see.
Ooh, look at that blink forward right there. Some force fields going down. Seems like Joan's going to start to really take this battle. PartinG definitely needs to get out, but the warping of Zealots is getting some revenge in his main base. Oh no, his Immortal's going to end up being picked off. I'm not sure how that happened, but that's painful.
Something went wrong there. That's what lets you sustain in these fights. So even though Joan's main base is getting shredded, I think the push may be unstoppable.
Well, a lot of his production is going down. PartinG has been specifically targeting down a lot of pylons.
Yeah.
So that's most of his gates. Like 7 of his gates are no longer powered. So we might actually see PartinG just like macro up and be able to maybe fight this, but he doesn't have those 2 Immortals anymore. Those felt very important. Okay, getting that empty geyser, that's really important. Charge forward on these Stalkers. Get as much done as he can.
Yeah, Pylon's coming down over here. He's trying to reboot his base. PartinG was beaten down. He has lost expansions. Infrastructure wasn't destroyed as much as it was hiccuped, was what PartinG did to Jones. So I do think, yeah, you can see once those pylons get powered, those minerals are going to sink back down closer to 0. And again, he just seems to have about a 15 supply lead in army.
It is a tough situation. But, you know, the Archon Zealot count could do something. I mean, 4 Archons is strong. Ooh, this engagement, though. Look at this blink forward. Targeting down Archons, but a great juggle there from PartinG.
This army is starting to look pretty fearsome. PartinG warping it again as Joan retreats through a narrow corridor. Archons and Immortals being targeted.
He does pull back for now.
And instead, it's going to be an attack over here on these rocks. PartinG trying to make an opening, trying to force another fight. Joan frantically warping in more units to try to match it.
Oh, yeah, you do not want to engage that right there. With the shield batteries,
yeah.
I don't think so. Like, the thing is, he has a lot of Archons, so maybe he feels like this is the time. Oh, but 3 batteries, man. You can't do it. You can't do it. Go elsewhere.
He needs to get probes to mine through that area and attack up there.
Oh. Oracle doing some damage, but PartinG actually blinks over with his Stalkers.
Doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he's dealing with it really well. Just sending a small force.
Look,
goes down. If he had sent everything.
This is the Great Wall of Joan. No, I don't know, man. I don't know about this with PartinG. I don't think this is going to work.
No.
Yeah, he just did not have the Zealots in the right spot. And I do not know that PartinG can come back from this.
No, he's done,
he's
man.
Dead.
That's it. That's his army gone. I got to tell you, Joan, just so impressive in this tournament. So impressive as of late.
And, you know, with this many Protosses in the tournament, you got to wonder if it's the player with the best PvP that's going to come out as the victor. And if you can beat PartinG in PvP, I don't know who you cannot beat.
Yeah, I think the other name you might be looking towards is Zest. He's a scary PvPer, man. But he plays next. We'll see if he makes it through.
So this counter push, I think, should just kill PartinG.
Yeah,
I don't think
PartinG doesn't have any quality left to his army at all.
Yeah, it's just Stalkers and Zealots. What an incredible PvP player.
Yeah, he played very, very solidly. A lot of hard choices were made very well.
GG.
Really impressive. You can see how happy he is with himself. This round of 4 is shaping up to be something special. Joan's going to get a seed into the round of 16 of the first GSL Codes of this year. PartinG, unfortunately, going to have to go through those qualifiers. No doubt he'll make it through, though.
Yeah, we'll be seeing more PartinG in the future, but Zoun, he's going to be back here tomorrow for our last day. He's killing it, man.
He is. He
That
could
is an
end up winning
unhappy
this tournament.
face.
It was a rough series. He definitely had points in probably every game where he had an edge.
Yeah.
But the edges were never big enough to just finish it off. It was all very complicated spots. And this time he got outplayed.
Guys, we have one more match today. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, Bunny versus Zest.